educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akosile Walter. Now the news making the headlines. Executive order not needed to disband SARS, says Buhari's aide. Amnesty International reports foul play in Tanzanian politics. Trump back on campaign trail in Florida. NPA generates 1 trillion naira revenue in 4 years. And Joshua Pulev bout fixed for December 12. Please stay with us as we bring you details of our news after the short break. Welcome back, and now the news in full. Executive order not needed to disband SARS, Buhari's aide. The personal assistant to the president on news media, Bashir Ahmad, says an executive order was not needed to disband the special anti-robbery squad of the Nigerian police force as been demanded by protesters. Ahmad made the clarification in a message he posted on his verified Twitter handle. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, had on Sunday bowed to pressure and disbanded the squad after days of public outcry and nationwide protests. But END-SARS campaigners say they would not back down, insisting that street rallies will continue until President Muhammadu Buhari issued an executive order scrapping the unit. The protests continued across the country on Monday despite Adamu's announcement, but Ahmad said SARS was not created by any executive order or legislative act. He said the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, was the one that has the authority to disband the squad, and he had done so. He said the defunct SARS was a unit of the police. It was an administrative creation of the IG of police, not created by any executive order or legislative act. Moving forward quickly, NCDC demands weekly, monthly, quarterly assessment as schools reopen. As schools resume nationwide, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control has urged states to conduct risk assessment to mitigate the exposure level of pupils to COVID-19. The center advised that the risk assessment should be conducted weekly by schools, monthly by local government areas, and quarterly by states. Speaking at a media briefing by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 Abuja, the Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Chike Ihekwazu, explained that the agency and the Federal Ministry of Education had developed a guideline to support states and schools in preparing for school reopening. And the DG emphasized that all staff, visitors, and students above 6 years must wear face masks at all times, adding that teachers had the discretion to define circumstances when the wearing of a face mask is not appropriate for children, particularly those with special needs. The agency equally recommended access to running water, soap, and hand washing facilities, pointing out that staff at the sick bay should be trained and provided with required personal protection equipment. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the PTF, Boss Mustafa, warned against second wave of the pandemic in Nigeria. The PTF chairman said the task force will soon unveil the next steps regarding the remaining phase of the eased lockdown. In another development quickly, Tribunal receives 5 petitions against Edo State Governor. The Edo Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja has received petitions from 5 political parties and their candidates challenging the declaration of Governor Godwin Obaseki as the rightful winner of the September 19 poll. The Secretary of the Tribunal, Sunday Martis, confirmed this in Benin on Monday, and Martis said that the 21-day window period for the submission of petitions ended on Saturday. He, however, said the bailiff had not succeeded in his effort to personally serve Obaseki the court notice. The political parties are the Action People's Party, Action Alliance, Allied People's Movement, the New Nigerian People's Party, and Action Democratic Party. Mr. Ibo Emmanuel. All the petitions joined Obaseki, the People's Democratic Party, and Independent National Electoral Commission as respondents. The petition by ADP and its candidates had the governor of PDP, INEC, and Osagie Zeyamu of the All Progressives Congress as defendants. Candidates of APP and AA petitions were challenging their unlawful exclusion from the ballot papers by INEC after having been validly nominated by their party in line with the Electoral Act. They were praying the tribunal to nullify the election and order a fresh poll to be conducted within 90 days. And quickly coming from around Africa, Amnesty International reports foul play in Tanzanian politics. Amnesty International alleges in reports that Tanzanian President John Magufuli's government is actively repressing the political opposition as rapidly passed laws restricting the freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association are being weaponized to control and stifle anyone within the population that opposes the current head of state. A tactic that the human rights NGO states has been employed by Magufuli since his election in 2015. Concerns also surround the questionable 7-day suspension of the ruling party's main political opponent Tundu Lissu in early this month, just a few odd weeks before the election on October 28, which will decide whether the current president and Chama Cha Mapinduzi candidate successfully be voted in by Tanzanians for a second term over Lissu, who hails from the Chadema party. And still from around Africa, UN urges Libyan leaders to prioritize the country in peace talks. The United Nations stated that only those who truly carry the best interests of a country at heart and without ulterior motives in the form of political career aspirations will be welcome to participate in the ideally forward-moving inter-Libyan political dialogue scheduled to take place in Tunisia in early November. The Tunis dialogue, which will begin on 26th October by a video conference in light of the COVID-19 pandemic before the in-person discussions scheduled for early November, will bring together several members of a High Council of State and the Tobruk parliaments. The talks will also include participants elected by the United Nations. Libya is currently torn between the United Nations recognized and Tripoli-based governments of national unity in the west and Marshal Khalifa Haftar's authority in the east, which has undermined the political process since the Skirat agreement in Morocco in December 2015 and unsuccessfully attempted to control the former between April 2019 and June of this year. At the encouragement of the United Nations, the two rival camps entered into negotiations in September with meetings touching upon institutional, military and political themes in Morocco, Egypt and Switzerland respectively. We'll go on a short break quickly. When we come back, we'll bring you updates from the United States of America. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details.
Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. The time has come for the gathering of sons to get recharged and revitalized.
The church that cannot be despised is a church of testimonies.
An outburst of revival.
There's a revival! Let's take it.
International Ministers Conference October edition.
Testimonies are the trademark of God's mandate.
Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman, 28th through 30th October 2020. Ministers without blemish. Time 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. GMT+1. Happening live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132, Benin Okene Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. For inquiries, please call Ministers without blemish. Prepare for your next level.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details.
Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
You're welcome back. Now, updates from the United States of America. Trump back on campaign trail in Florida. President Donald Trump has returned to the campaign trail less than 2 weeks after testing positive for coronavirus. Thousands gathered at an outdoor rally in Sanford, Florida, where a defiant Mr. Trump made the first of 4 planned campaign stops over the next 4 days in battleground states. The president and rival Joe Biden are scrambling to secure votes with 3 weeks until the 3rd of November election. On Monday, Mr. Biden spoke in Ohio, another swing state. Polling suggests Mr. Biden has a 10-point lead over Mr. Trump nationally. However, his lead in some key states is narrower, as is the case in Florida, where he is 3.7 points ahead, according to an average of polls collated by Real Clear Politics. Battlegrounds like the Sunshine States are crucial for getting the 270 electoral college votes needed to win the White House, which is not determined by simple popular ballot count. Mr. Trump tested positive for COVID-19 some 11 days ago and was admitted to Walter Reed Medical Center a day later. But on Sunday, his personal doctor said he was no longer a COVID transmission risk to others and disclosed on Monday that his most recent tests were negative over consecutive days, although he did not give the dates. And now more updates from the United Kingdom. SAG scientists called for short lockdown weeks ago. The government's scientific advisor called for a short lockdown in England to halt the spread of COVID-19 last month. The expert said in a meeting that an immediate circuit breaker was the best way to control cases. Labour said the advice was ignored, but NUM 10 said it took robust action. It comes as the Liverpool region prepares to enter a very high COVID alert level from tomorrow, the highest of a new three-tier system. Most areas of England will be on medium alert with measures such as the rule of 6, but areas with local restrictions on household mixing are automatically on high alert. Speaking at a Downing Street news conference, Boris Johnson said retail outlets, schools and universities will remain open in all areas of England. But at the same press conference, England's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Chris Whitty, voiced concerns over the impact of the new rules, saying he was not confident the highest tier measures would be enough to get on top of the virus without further local restrictions. Quickly, we'll go to business news right now. NPA generates 1 trillion naira revenue in 4 years. The Nigerian Ports Authority has generated a revenue of 1.02 trillion naira in the space of 3 years under the tenure of Managing Director Hadiza Bala Usman. In 2016, the authority's revenue went up to 182.42 billion naira against the 173.447 billion naira generated in 2015. The positive revenue surge continued in 2017 when the authority generated a total of 259.99 billion naira, marking about 42% increase compared to 2016, according to the Ports Authority. In 2018, the revenue generation hits 282.42 billion naira, while 2019 peaked at around 300 billion naira, making it the highest in the authority's history. The authority noted that its contribution to the consolidated revenue fund account had progressively increased since the current management took over in 2016. In 2014, the Nigerian Port Authority contributed 18.5 billion naira to the CRF compared to 2013 when it contributed 13.1 billion naira. The authority contributed 23.8 billion naira in 2016 compared to 18 billion naira it contributed to CRF in 2015. The contribution to the CRF in 2018 peaked at 33.6 billion naira compared to 2017 when it contributed 30.3 billion naira, according to the statements. And still on business news quickly, least developed countries' debts hit $744 billion in 2019, World Bank. The debt burden of least developed countries rose to $744 billion in 2019, the World Bank said on Monday. It disclosed this in its report titled Debt Burden at Least Developed Countries, continues to climb to a record of $744 billion in 2019. In response to an urgent need for greater debt transparency, the bank said the latest edition of the International Debt Statistics Report provided more detailed and more disaggregated data on external debt than ever before in its nearly 70 years history. It said these included breakdowns of what each borrowing country owed to official and private creditors in each creditor country and the expected month-by-month debt service payment owed to them through 2021. Before the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, rising public debt levels were already a cause for concern, particularly in many of the world's poorest countries, as discussed in its 4 waves of debt report published in December 2019. Responding to a call from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, he said the G20 endorsed the debt service suspension initiative in April 2020 to help up to 73 of the poorest countries manage the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the debt stock of DSSI eligible countries to official bilateral creditors composed by mostly G20 countries reached $178 billion in 2019 and accounted for 17% of long-term net debt flows to low and middle income countries. Quickly, we'll go on a short break. We'll come back. We'll be getting news from the sporting world as Joshua and Pulev are ready for their bout in December 12th. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details.
Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. The time has come for the gathering of sons to get recharged and revitalized.
The church that cannot be despised is a church of testimonies.
An outburst of revival.
There's a revival! Take it.
International Ministers Conference, October edition.
Testimonies are the trademark of God's mandate.
Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman, 28th through 30th October 2020. Ministers without blemish. Time 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. GMT+1. Happening live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132, Benin, Okene, Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. For inquiries, please call Ministers without blemish. Prepare for your next level.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details.
Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Time has come for the gathering of sons to get recharged and revitalized.
The church that cannot be despised is a church of testimonies.
An outburst of revival.
There's a revival.
Let's take it.
International Ministers Conference October edition.
Testimonies are the trademark of God's mandate.
Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman, 28th through 30th October 2020. Ministers without internet is risk kilometer Ministers without blemish. Prepare for your next level.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details.
Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk.
Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
You welcome Sports News. Joshua Pulev bout fixed for December 12th. Pulev confirmed that he will face the world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in a title bout on December 12th. Britain's Joshua was originally scheduled to fight Pulev on June 20th, with his second date in July also mooted amid the coronavirus pandemic. He did not mention if the bout will be behind closed doors due to COVID-19 restrictions as earlier expected, prompting Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn to say he was willing to move the fight to the Middle East if an audience is allowed there. Joshua beat Andy Ruiz to regain the WBA, IBF, WBO and IBO heavyweight titles in Saudi Arabia in December. He is, however, due to put them up for grabs by the Bulgarian mandatory challenger. Pulev has been waiting for a chance to face Joshua for almost 3 years now after a shoulder injury forced him out of a world title bout in October 2017. In another sports news, quickly, Eagles pass COVID-19 test again, seek redemption against Tunisia. The Super Eagles will battle Tunisia today after players and officials of a national team tested negative for COVID-19 on Monday. The match billed for the Jacques Lamens Arena in the Australian city of St. Vertandaglan will start at 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time. The Eagles has also undergone the COVID-19 test on Thursday before their 1-0 loss to Algeria in Klagenfurt, Austria. The three-time African champions will be hoping to bounce back against the Tunisians after Friday's defeat. The Nigerians defeated Tunisia 1-0 to clinch bronze at the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations after losing to Algeria in the semi-final and are unbeaten in their last 5 matches against the Carthage Eagles. 2 wins and 3 draws, with their last defeat 16 years ago after a penalty shootout in the semi-final of the 2004 AFCON in Raids, Tunisia. But ahead of this tie, the Tunisians are in high spirits after a resounding 3-0 victory over Sudan in another friendly on Friday. Coach Gernot Rohr hinted there would be changes in the squad after Friday's defeat, while the team will still miss the services of Victor Osimhen, Wilfried Ndidi and Ogenekaro Etebo, who pulled out due to various reasons. Rohr has the luxury of testing new players for the game. Strikers Siri Deza and goalkeeper Matthew Yakubu will both hope to win their first international caps, while Kenneth Omeruo Ola Aina, Jamilu Collins and Chidera Ejuke will all be hoping to be in action after missing the Algeria tie. And that has brought us to the end of the news on Celebration Television News Desk. In case you missed out on any of our news updates articles, here is a recap of the news headlines. Executive order not needed to disband SARS, says Buhari's aide. Amnesty International reports foul play in Tanzanian politics. Trump back on campaign trail in Florida. Nigeria Ports Authority generates 1 trillion naira revenue in 4 years. And on sports, Joshua Pulev bout fixed for December 12th. And quickly we have photo of the day. You see that it states that everyone wants to get to the top, but everyone needs someone who is already at the top. That's just a fact. You can as well drop your own opinion, your comments on our social media platform on Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, at Twitter, at My Celebration TV, YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, or as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. Play your part today and do it with all diligence. Thank you once again for staying with us on our news desk. I remain Nicholas Akosile Walter. Thank you once more. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.